It's Nakia Carter. We're having our Money Mondays as we do every week. So welcome. I'm excited that you guys are here. I'm always excited that you're here. I like our Money Mondays and sharing this information and kind of, you know, helping us get to millionaire status and thinking about some things that we need to do. So welcome. We always start a little early, so I'm trying to see if my comments work tonight. If they don't, I'm over it. I've been fighting with these comments for probably months, and they're just gonna do whatever they're gonna do. And guess what I'm gonna do? So welcome to Money Mondays. We're talking about mentorship and finding a mentor tonight. Last week we kind of touched on it, and I was supposed to post some resources in the group, but I fell down a rabbit hole. Hi Candy, welcome to Money Mondays. I fell down the rabbit hole, so I said, okay, well, since I didn't post it last week, that will be our discussion for tonight. So we're talking about mentorship, what that looks like, how to find one, where to find one, what you need to consider before you start looking, some things that you need to know before you start looking. Let's see who else we have on here. I can't see anybody. I don't know. I can't see anybody but Candy. So welcome to Money Mondays. We're going to start promptly at 9 o'clock as we always do. We're talking about mentorship. Where to find one, what they look like, some things you can consider, some things you need to really think about before you actually get a mentor, and all that good stuff. I think mentorship is a difficult thing because it's hard to find people to reach out to. And so a lot of people will tell you, oh, you need a mentor, but they don't really give you the actionable steps, and they don't tell you like how to find one. So we're going to briefly cover how to find one if you have a traditional job, which it should be fairly easy. It's not always easy. And then we're going to also talk about how to find one if you're taking the entrepreneurship route or you want to get into entrepreneurship. Because we know, as we've talked about before, that if you want to get to millionaire status, you're going to more than likely have to do it via entrepreneurship, right? So we'll talk about that in a second. I have my notes as always, so I'm just reviewing those. I hope you guys are having a good week. What's going on? Oh, I'm on spring break. You guys know I work at a college, so we're on spring break this week. So yeah, that's what's been going on with me. We're gonna also do a No Spend March update. So I have an update for you all. So we'll talk about No Spend March a little. I want to know, how's it going? How you doing? What are your goals? You know, this is really like the 15th of the month, so this is the midway point. And it seems like a month is never that long until you like are not doing something. Like if you're like waiting to go on vacation, it's so long. Or if you're on a diet, it's so long. But when you're just like living, they pass by like this. It was just December 2 days ago. So I don't know. But this is the halfway mark for No Spend March. So I'm very interested to hear how you guys are doing, if you're participating, if you did a modified version, what you cut out, how much you saved. I'll give all that information. And then what I'll do at the end of March is I'll make sure I do a complete overview with you all, like how much I saved, what I spent on, because I've been really watching my spending for the little things that I have been purchasing. I have not been counting like personal stuff because, you know, we don't count that. But I have bought some stuff, and then today was my cheat day. So my husband told me make sure I tell you guys about that. It's not a secret. It's not a lie. I told you guys I would have a cheat day. So let me see what time it is. I've just been talking. Let's see. Oh, we're almost ready. It's 8:59. So once again, if you're new to Millionaire Money Goals, I'm Nakia Carter. We've added quite a few people in the last few days. So welcome to Millionaire Money Goals. If you are new here, invite your friends, tell them, come on. The vision that I have for this group is to be a hub for future millionaires, right? I want us all to collaborate and talk and, you know, really help each other get to millionaire status. I feel like too often we tell each other to do that, but we don't really know how to get there. So welcome. We're going to go ahead and get started because I'm sure it's 9 o'clock. Just a FYI, I cannot see your comments tonight. I do not have my laptop, so we're going to roll with it. Hopefully you all can hear me. I'm assuming that everything is good. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So if you came and attended last week's Money Mondays, we talked about briefly mentorship and how to find a mentor. So we're going to dive into that tonight, what that looks like, how to find one, things to consider, and all that good stuff, right? So let's go. Have my notes. Many lists, when you're talking about getting to millionaire status, will tell you that you need a mentor, right? They'll tell you that's one of the instrumental things that you need to do to get to the next level. So it's extremely important. I don't feel like it's something that you can really skip past. If you remember, we covered this a few weeks ago. Last month in Money Mondays, we covered this. I feel like something's going on. Pause this. Let me get my laptop so I can see if you guys can hear me. I see people jumping in and jumping on. So I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. So I'm sorry, guys. Let me log on because I see people coming in and out. So I want to make sure that everything is in good order. Oops. It's the wrong button. Turn this down. Okay. So you guys can hear me. Good. Thank you, Candy. Hey, Erica. Hey, Candy. Hey, Brittany. Hey, Shadris. Welcome. I just wanted to be sure because I see people hopping in and out. Okay. Sorry. So if you remember a few weeks ago, last month, we talked about the 4 types of people that you need. That was on February 1st. We talked about a coach, a mentor, a friend, and a cheerleader. Remember that in Money Mondays? So a mentor was included in that list, all right? So during that Money Mondays, we said, what is a mentor? A mentor has done what you want to do, right? They may be on the same journey, just a little ahead of you, and they're an advisor or a guide, right? So we'll get into more of what a mentor is in 1 second. Now, there are some things that you have to do before you start looking for a mentor. The first thing that you have to do is decide why you want a mentor, right? Because mentorship, we'll get into the relationship in a second, but it has to be something that you know the why that you're doing it. Not just for the sake of having a mentor, but why do you want a mentor? So that's the first thing that you have to determine before you start looking for a mentor. The second thing that you need to determine is if you actually need a mentor or a coach, right? So there is a distinct difference between a mentor and a coach, and we'll get into that right now. As we said earlier, a mentor is an advisor, right? A coach is more of a trainer or an instructor. A mentor is going to be experienced in a role or the industry that you're interested in, and it's going to be a less formal relationship than one that you have with a coach. A coach is going to be more formal. They're going to give you actionable steps, and they usually make you pay for their services, right? With mentors, you do not pay typically. With a mentor, the discussions are peer-to-peer, whereas with a coach, the discussions are more goal and target focused. Okay, so a coach is going to tell you, these are your goals, these are your marks, you have to hit those. A mentor is going to tell you, that may not be a good idea. You may want to try it this way. When I did it, I did blah, 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 blah. So that's the difference, okay? A mentor is more developmentally driven. So they're working on your development, whereas a coach is more focused on your performance. So they want to know, like, how can I get you from A to B, versus a mentor really helping you with your mindset, really helping you develop mentally and in the business world. Mentor and mentee relationships are usually long-term, and a coach relationship is usually shorter term. So a coach relationship can be anywhere from a couple weeks to a couple months, whereas a mentor, you're going to have them for the long haul, for you thinking like 6 months or a year or more. Okay, so when you're on your journey and you're starting your journey, you need to figure out, do I need a coach or do I need a mentor? Okay, so think about it like this. So a coach, let's say you want to open up a restaurant. A coach is going to tell you, okay, you want to open up a restaurant. These are the things that you have to do, right? You need to get your business license. You need to set up your business entity. You need to set up your sales tax. You got to apply for your alcohol license. You need to figure out when you're going to hire. What is your launch date? where your vendor's coming from. That's what a coach is going to do. A mentor is going to say, okay, why do you want to open up a restaurant? Do you know how to cook? Do you have restaurant experience? Okay, so we're past that. Okay, the most important thing that I did the first time I opened my restaurant was I found a great location. Okay, so that's the difference between a mentor and a coach. Both are important. Both focus on your growth and development. They just do it different ways, and both want you to reach your potential, but they just do it in different ways. So you really have to know, am I actually looking for a mentor or a coach when I'm thinking about my business? Now, I'm going to give you a fun fact. SCORE, which helps, if you don't know, it's a government-funded program that helps business owners and entrepreneurs. They said that business owners who have 3 or more hours of mentoring usually report higher revenues and increased growth, right? Because a mentor is going to help you avoid those pitfalls. They're going to tell you what to do so you're not doing it on your own. So that's just a fun fact, okay? Let's get into where you find one. That's always been a difficult thing to me. Like, where do I even find a mentor? I don't even know. Okay, if you're working a traditional job, and let's say you're in corporate America, or you work for a college, or you're in education, or whatever, you can usually find a mentor inside your organization. I know when I worked for a brokerage company, they had an official mentorship program. And so I applied for the program, and they matched me with a mentor. Be leery of that matching program, because they may not match you with someone that you're going to deal with. And that was my issue that I had with my mentor. You know, as a woman and as a Black woman, there are things that I want someone to automatically know. And if you're dealing with somebody that's in another culture, or they're in another age group, or they are, you know, they don't understand where you're coming from, they don't have your struggles, you're going to have to really break down different situations to them and explain to them who you are before you can actually, like, get help. So that's one thing. Now, you don't have to go through a formal program. You can always just reach out to someone that you know at the company, or find someone that you look up to, someone that's in a job that you want to be in. They're on the career path. Maybe they're a leader in the company. They hold a leadership position, and say, hey, you know, I'm looking for a resource. I'm looking for a mentorship or some advice. Do you have a couple minutes? So just think about that. That's how you can get a mentor if you're in an actual organization. If you're not in an organization, and let's say you're trying to start something new. So you want to open a restaurant. You're trying to open your own salon suites. You want to become a realtor or a home flipper or whatever it is, there are some things that you can do, okay? I'm giving to you. The first thing that you want to do is look at your network. You would be surprised who knows who. It can be relationships that you never would suspect that somebody knew that person. That's how I got the job that I have now at the college. Somebody knew somebody. I had a friend that knew somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody. And so look at your network and start networking. See who they know. You can use meetup groups. So meetup.com, Facebook groups, they have events where you can go and you can meet people. Okay, you can use that as a way to get a mentor. You can go to events in your field. So let's say you're a let's say you're in construction. They have like business events where you can go and learn tricks of the trade. They have trade shows. You can go to those. So start going to those events if you want to be in that industry. Another thing that you can do is use your alumni network. You know, especially if your school has a lot of school pride, you'll be surprised who graduated from that school, who got a degree, and who would be willing to mentor you and help you get to the next level. Another thing that you can do is use a professional association. So they have different business associations that you can join. They have minority-owned business associations, women-owned business associations, veteran associations, all these different associations that you can join and use that as a way to continue networking and building your network and meeting people. Another thing that you can do is join an incubator or accelerator program. So a lot of times in business, I know they had a couple in St. Louis when I was there. They'll have like these incubators, and they'll teach you how to be in business. They'll match you with a mentor. They'll help you get to the next level. Whatever it is that you're looking for, they have resources in that incubator or the accelerator program. Hop on LinkedIn. A lot of people, I don't think they take LinkedIn serious, but LinkedIn is a powerhouse, and it can be a great resource for you to find a mentor. Talk to business leaders in your area. If you know people business leaders, or maybe they're in a different business. Talk to them and see who they know. Is let them know, hey, I'm looking for a mentor. I'm looking for some guidance. Do you know someone? Another thing that you can do is start asking around in forums and online groups. It's groups on Facebook with 1 million members. And trust me, those members are active. If you make one post, they will come out of the woodwork to help you. So start searching online and looking for those organizations and those places where you can get online and ask, for help and resources. There is a free site that connects mentors and mentees. It's called Micro Mentor. MicroMetor, Micro Mentor. And you can get on there and basically tell them what you're looking for, and they'll match you with someone. Okay, so consider using them as a resource. Another great resource is Score Mentor. So we mentioned Score earlier. They have a mentorship program where they match entrepreneurs with mentors. So check them out. It doesn't help to touch all of these different points to see, can I find the mentor where I fit and I gel right with them? Volunteer somewhere. A lot of people sleep on volunteering because they want to get paid for everything they do. I get it. I understand. But you can volunteer at different organizations. You can volunteer at different galas, different events, and that's how you can continue to network and meet people. You'd be surprised the type of people you meet at those events. And then we have 2 more, mastermind groups. So mastermind groups are basically where a group of entrepreneurs get together and they bounce ideas off each other. You usually see them in spaces. What are they called? It's like a space where you can rent office space. It's a shared office space. And it's entrepreneurs there, right? So they have mastermind groups. You can sit in. You guys can bounce ideas off of them, off each other. You can say, hey, I'm looking for a mentor. Tell me where to go. And then lastly, business and development centers. So they have whole centers dedicated to business, dedicated to women's, like I said earlier, dedicated to veterans. Checking those business centers. So the key theme here that I want you to take away is you have to start looking. You're not going to meet, if you even think about meeting friends, it's hard to meet friends. So you're not going to meet somebody and then they just automatically be your mentor and there's nothing that you have to do. You're going to have to put in some work if you are ready for a mentor. Okay. Now I have a list, a complete list. I'm estimating it's about 10 things on this list of things that you want to consider when you're thinking about a mentor-mentee relationship. And we're going to go through those because they are complex. They're more complex than you would expect. Okay, so let's talk about it. The first thing that you want to do is to get to know your mentor. I don't care how successful somebody is. If they're like a devil worshiper, that's probably not going to work for me. I don't worship the devil, so I don't care how much money you got. I don't want no advice from a devil worshiper. So get to know your mentor, right? What are they like inside business, outside of business? What is their home life like? You don't want to be taking advice from somebody that beats their kids and their wife or their husband, So get to know your mentor. Focus on building the relationship first. A lot of people, a lot of successful people are busy. They are so busy and they get turned off by the word mentor because they look at it as like a time suck. It's going to take so much time. Like, I got stuff to do. Time is money. Like, I don't have time for this. So get to know your mentor on a personal level so that you can build and foster a relationship with them. Okay. And if you can't, avoid using the word mentor, because like I said, when a lot of successful people hear the word mentor, they think it's going to be time consuming. They think that this is something that I can be consulting for and getting paid for. So just think about that. Think about, are you two a good fit? Like I said earlier, with my mentor I was matched with at the brokerage company, she was a nice lady. She had been with the company for years, but we just did not fit. We just didn't fit. And, it's hard to make somebody see your point of view when they haven't walked in your shoes. They don't really know the struggles that you have. So make sure that you two are a good fit. Your mentor should not have strong ties to your business. Okay. So if you're in a restaurant business or you want to be a home flipper, your business partner should not be your investor. Okay. Because that's going to be, and they're not going to give you, objectful. I can't even say it. They're not going to give you advice that doesn't benefit them, right? It's a conflict of interest. You want them to be, you know, impartial. You want them to be in the middle. So just focus on that they're not strongly tied to your business. You want to make yourself worth mentoring. You know, as I said earlier, mentoring and being a mentee is a lot of work. There are things that you have to do. You have to be prepared. You know, if you're talking to a millionaire and you're asking them to mentor you, and every time you guys meet up and you're not ready and you haven't done the things that they told you to do the last meeting, you're late, you're not focused, you're not prepared, you know, you're not engaged, that's going to reflect badly on you. And so they're probably going to sever the relationship. So you have to make sure that you're worth mentoring. Don't overlook someone who is not in your industry. Just because, you know, this person is not a home flipper or they're not in the restaurant industry, maybe they are a real estate agent. They can still be your mentor because they've seen a lot. So they can tell you a lot. The relationship should be mutually beneficial. As I said earlier, mentors typically are very busy and no one likes being used. Like, can you imagine, you know how you feel when somebody only calls you when they need something? That should not be the relationship that you have with your mentor. So you need to make sure that you have the time to foster that relationship. And be open to both local and online mentors. Times have changed. And if this past year hasn't taught us anything, it should have taught us that we can do almost anything online. So we don't have to be physically somewhere to get the job done. So your mentor does not have to be local. It can be someone that's out of state, even out of the, I would say out of state. Try to stay in your country if you can. And then lastly, the last thing that you want to do is don't ask, give, right? It goes back to that feeling that you're being used. Somebody's only calling you when they want something. So don't be that mentee that only calls your mentor when you want something. Make sure that you're giving more than you ask. So I'm going back to my home flipping. Let's say that you want to be a home flipper and you have a mentor who's been doing it for 10, 15 years. Don't just keep calling them, asking them for stuff, right? Call them and say, hey, do you need some help on one of your work sites? I have a free Saturday. I can come out and help you. Whatever you need, even if it's cleaning up, you know. So give them something in return as gratitude for their time and their resources and their knowledge. Okay? Ooh, I did a lot of talking, but I think this was beneficial. So consider some of those things that I told you about where to find a mentor. Consider some of the things that I said. It's not impossible. It's going to be very beneficial to you if you find the right mentor that can help you get to the next level. You definitely don't want it to be a relationship where you just call and ask them for information, but it can help you get to the next level and increase your revenue, right? Because they're going to tell you what you can avoid, what pitfalls to miss. You know, don't do this, do that. This is what I did. This is what happened when I did that. They can give you that business guidance. Okay? So that's it for Money Mondays. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found some good nuggets. It may seem overwhelming at first, but just go line by line. So maybe the first thing that you can do is start online and say, hey, I'm looking for a mentor in one of the groups, or I'm looking for some business assistance or some business advice. Start there. You don't have to hit each one of these places to find a mentor at once. You can start slow, but definitely get started. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot. Let's talk about No Spend March. Okay. So this is March 15th, the middle of the month. Me personally, No Spend March has been going very well. I've been really watching my spending. As I told you all last week, I kind of cheated a little bit and spent, I think, like $60 total. That hasn't really changed, in the past week since we last met. Today was my cheat day. So if you remember when I first brought up, oh, let's see what Candy says. Candy says, I'm doing well. I admit I put things in my carts, but have good, Candy. Just leave them in there to April 1st and see what happens. You may decide that you don't even want the stuff. Yeah, so today was my cheat day. The reason why I cheated was because I needed to source. So one of my side hustles that I do is I sell clothes online, right? So I sell clothes on like Poshmark, eBay, and then on Facebook. And it brings in, you know, I do pretty well with that. And so I have a couple sales on Saturday. For whatever reason, back in March, I booked 2 sales for Saturday. So I had to go source for my sales. And that's what I did today. So I spent quite a bit today, a little over $200 sourcing for my sales. But I'm expecting to get that money right back on Saturday and Sunday. So that's me. That's what I did. My goal, as I told you guys earlier, for this month is to save at least $3,000. I feel like my sales on Saturday is going to take a big chunk of that and help me get there. But yeah, I haven't really been spending. I bought like some vitamins. They were like $5, so I put that on there. What else have I bought? I've been eating a lot of junk food, so I put that on there. You know, chips, sunflower seeds, that kind of thing. So I put that on there, and that's basically it. I haven't done any shopping other than what I did today for business, and I feel great. Been saving money. You know, sometimes you got to plug those holes up. So hopefully that is going well for you as well. If you didn't join or you haven't done it for the past 2 weeks, that's okay. Just dedicate it this week. Just say, you know what? I'm not going to do any eating out for the rest of the month. I posted the rules and kind of like the do's and don'ts of No Spend March in the group, so look for those. But I mean, the goal is to save money. So if you save $100, $200, $300, $1,000, whatever it is, that's better than spending it if you didn't have to. Okay? So Candy, stay steadfast. Don't purchase those items in that cart because it's No Spend March. Okay, well, that's all I have for you guys tonight. I'm going to let you go. Thanks for being here. I hope you got some great tools. As always, you have a good night and have a good week. I will talk to you on Monday. Bye-bye.